on our way to Colorado. We're gonna stop halfway there in Kearney. I reserved a hotel so that we don't have to drive.
Kearney.
Is it Kearney?
Is it Kearney? Kearney?
What about Rob Kearney? Rob Kearney? Kearney. His name is the same
It's
spelling.
Kearney. Yeah, Kearney.
I always say Kearney. Who gives a shit?
Either way, that's where we're stopping.
Yeah. We're going to stay in the town named after Rob Kearney, the strongman.
Rob
And I did not pick Kearney for that reason. I've been to Kearney when I did fire school when I was on a fire department.
We picked it because it's halfway.
Yeah, like I just looked halfway and I was like, oh, there's Kearney. I've been there before, so I just kind of picked it because I've been there once before and it was about halfway. So if Rob Kearney is watching this, sorry, Rob. We didn't pick it just because it's named after you. Maybe a little bit. Very different here.
Oh, for sure.
Phone's plugged in, you'll be fine. Take two.
We just recorded a 15-minute video without it recording.
Yeah, I hit record when it was in the upright position. Then when I flipped it over to sideways, it stopped. So, anyway.
The main point of this video is so we have it on film who we think is going to win.
Yeah, this is our prediction video.
Okay. So, I predict Brian Shaw first, Evan Singleton second, and Maxime Boudreau third.
Yeah. I agree with Brian getting first. And then second, I think, is going to be Adam Bishop, and then in third place, Evan Singleton.
And so now we were deciding what we were going to bet on this,
Yeah.
as to who gets the closest.
So do you have to get them all right to win?
Well, if you get them all right, then the winner gets an extra special prize. But
Okay.
if, say, like, I get 2 right and you get 1 right, I win. Or if you get 2 right,
So
and
whoever
I get
gets
1 right,
more.
I win. Yes.
So, yeah, so if I get one of them right and you get 2 right, you win.
Which will probably happen.
What if... What if fucking JF Carone takes the whole thing and then, you know... It's like Trey second and it's like we're both wrong.
Then we both suck at guessing.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did these cars just come from?
Okay, if we're both wrong, you guys get to pick a punishment that we have to endure. Preferably, like, give you guys some ideas, like a workout or something, or like, oh no, we have to eat something disgusting. Yeah, and you guys get to pick it.
I don't like you anymore.
That's gonna be really funny.
Ew.
As much as I don't want to eat something disgusting, I almost hope we both lose so I can watch you.
You can watch me gag and puke.
Okay. So, what is our prize for who wins?
Winner has to take the other one out to eat. Or, I mean, loser has to take the other one out to eat.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Winner has to take me out to eat. And if you lose, you get to take me out to eat. The ego on this woman. Either way, you take me out to eat.
I don't have an ego, I just can't talk. Remember, I'm Midwest. Sense.
We're gonna go out to eat either way, just whoever's paying, is basically what we're talking about. Yeah. How are you gonna pay?
Well, we'll just have to wait until I get my refund check.
She's in between jobs right now. Okay. It don't have to be anytime soon, so we'll do it down the road. Okay. So, loser takes the other one out to eat. Now we got it on video of who we picked so we can't forget or change it later or lie. chained in steel.
I wouldn't. I'd guess the Royal Hall one right.
I know. And then if we're both wrong, and top 3 is nobody that we expected, you guys get to pick something for us to eat. So we're still gonna go out to eat, but you guys get to pick what it is. It doesn't have to be disgusting. Keep that in mind.
No, I can't do it Eddie. Now you can come play these.
Where the base from?
What's this one?
Let's go in there.
All right.
All right, so guys, the Shaw Classic is done. So by the time this video comes out, the results will already be there anyway. But if you guys want to see the contest, because there won't be any video, as you probably already saw, there's no video. So there's not going to be a video after this, the contest. Brian and Carrie were very strict on that. They did not want video up, and the reason why is not because of any kind of control or anything like that, or money that they're going to lose. It does involve money, but the thing is all the money that gets made from you guys downloading the stream, which is only what, $8, $9.
Yeah.
You can watch both days of the contest edited. It looks really, really good. So all that money goes back to the athletes. Brian and Carrie don't make money off of that, so that's why they're doing this. Because the whole point of the show was because COVID really screwed everything up for a lot of the athletes. So basically, Brian and Carrie's friends and family. So they made a contest. It was last year, 2020, that they did it the first time, and they had to do it at his house because everything was shut down. But with the streams and whatever money was made, they put towards the athletes. So this year, since they were allowed to have fans, they wanted to have fans. So that way people were buying tickets, people were buying live streams. So the prize money was a lot better for the athletes this time.
$100,000 this year.
And it wasn't just top 3 that got paid. Everybody got paid. And everybody actually got paid more than they expected, because Brian placed second, and he said anything that if he wins, wherever he places, whether he wins second, third, whatever he gets, his cut is going back to the athletes anyway. So he's not even putting that in the equation. So that's really cool. But so definitely we were wrong about our predictions completely.
Way wrong.
Both of us were wrong. So third place, we'll just do the top 3. Third was
JF.
Yep, JF, who was in the lead for a while. That would have been really cool to see him get a win that's, outside of Canada. He does really well, but he hasn't won. I haven't seen him win anything other than Canada's Strongest Man, which he's won 1,000,000 times.
10.
Yeah. So, he got third, and it was just because of the stones at the end. He had trouble with that, and that set him back. And second place was Brian, as I said. And I think Brian was doing really well, actually.
He was never in first, though.
No, he was never in first. But he made this contest. He didn't cater it towards himself, like of his strength and stuff. It was just a wide range of stuff. I mean, there was grip events, there was moving events. Like everything was heavy too. Like some of the guys were just really struggling with some of the weight and stuff. And these are the strongest guys in the world, so it was not an easy contest by any means. He didn't just do this just to throw something fun together. He wanted to challenge everybody and see who the strongest man is. So, and first place was actually Trey Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, if you guys follow us on Facebook and Instagram, we ran into him and his family at the restaurant the day before day 2. So it was
the end of day 1.
Right after day 1, we went to go eat, and he went with his family.
Dude, get the fuck over.
Don't mind her.
If you're gonna ride a bicycle on this fucking area that's curvy, don't try to get into traffic. Continue.
And people think strongmen are aggressive. I'm the one driving too. I may keep that shit in.
Do it.
Anyway. So, yeah, we ran into them. They were super cool. Tanya went over just to say hi real quick. She's like, I'm not gonna ask for any pictures or autograph or anything like that, because I'm not gonna bother you with your family. I just want to say, we saw you over here and wanted to say you're doing great. And his family was like, no. I mean, why don't you just get a picture now and talk to him for a minute. We haven't even ordered yet, and talk to them in the middle of the restaurant.
And his family, his mom and dad actually recognized us and told Trey they were sitting in front of us at the contest. And don't mind my voice. I screamed so loud and so much that I have no voice. But so worth it.
And what's funny is that before we left, you know, we said hi to them. We finished eating, and then we paid, and just give Trey a little extra positive vibe. As we were walking by, I kind of jabbed him on the shoulder and I said, "Hey, get some rest, champ." And he wins. He was in the lead for a while, so I mean.
Yeah, he was never lower than third place.
Yeah, and I think he just surprised everybody at the Stones because he
beat Brian Shaw.
Yep.
By 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well, pretty crazy show. Even if we were watching it just at home, we would have been like, "This is insane. I can't even try and guess who's gonna do well at what." And just it was really cool. So we're gonna put pictures in here of some of the lists, so they didn't mind if we put pictures and everything like that. So, but so you guys won't see any video footage at all in this video. If you want to see that, go to Shaw Strength, go to the Elite Club, and you can download it for like a one-time thing, or you can join the club for
$9 a month.
$9 a month, which if you're a big Brian Shaw fan or just a strongman fan in general, it's worth it because it actually has like a social media profile to it. So like all the other club members can talk to each other, they can post stuff. Brian and Carrie, usually Carrie, she's really active on that. They'll answer questions on there. He has his own private Q&A.
It's Strongman Facebook, basically.
And the Q&A that he does is like, it's not like when you see him on YouTube and there's like, 2,000 people watching and like the questions are just coming, and they can't get to all of them. Otherwise, they'd be there all day. It's not like that. It's such a smaller group of people that he literally goes question by question by question by question all the way down. So, because I put a question up there and he got to that and kept going right down the line. So you can get a lot of good information, programming, stuff like that, discounts on all of his stuff. But the guys just wanted to see our take. That's basically what this whole video is about. It wasn't about trying to show contest footage so people could have, another outlet to look at it, or, I'm not going to flood this with every single picture that we took and stuff like that. It's really just, you guys are watching my journey as well as her journey now that she's healed up.
Somewhat healed up.
Yeah, becoming what we want to do. So this is basically just something I've always wanted to do, no matter what I was into at the time. And back when I was skating, I got to meet some of the pro skaters that I looked up to. And I remember how just insanely cool that was. But I also remember there was a couple of them that really weren't very good people. People? They weren't very. And so I remember that too. So going to this and just seeing how they didn't have to take time after the contest when they're all tired and beat up and injured to come talk to us and take pictures and stuff like that, and continue standing and talking and expending energy when they just don't have anything left. But they all did.
A couple of them.
A couple of them didn't because they were injured, and some of them were had to get back to the hotel because they were just wrecked.
Yeah, a couple of them, Mikhail Shivlikov and Konstantin Janashia went back because they were hurt right away. Konstantin, you've got to watch the video. He put everything into doing the Stones. Even though he was hurt, he said every time he walked, it felt like he was being stabbed in the back. I have so much respect for that man. And Shivlikov pulled out at the third event because he hurt himself.
Yeah.
But he came out and did the third event first and said he wanted to do that event before he pulled out because of the energy of the crowd and how everyone had been so amazing. And they said that so many times that the crowd was just fantastic. Brian Shaw said it was the best crowd he's ever performed in front of.
Yeah, not to mention that he said the only other time that he ever competed in Colorado, which is where he lives, this is like his neighborhood, was his first contest ever. After that, he moved on to different contests and he moved up the ranks so quickly. So this was super cool, I know, for him, and you could tell when he was talking to everybody about how it felt to be back home, actually competing in a contest and seeing how far he's come. You can really see that. So it's pretty cool.
A couple of the guys almost missed their shuttle back to the hotel because they were so busy with fans. Evan Singleton almost missed his ride back to the hotel. Kevin almost missed his ride back to the hotel. Gabe Pena, he is gained so much respect in my book. He came out, he gave it all. I put a photo up on Instagram of us. He commented he even remembered my name and spelled it right, so that's a #1 bonus. And then before he left, he looked at the lines and said, "Is there anybody I missed before I leave?"
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was right in front of us. He came over and he remembered us, and we were talking to him again for a minute. And then, yeah, he was like, "I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody." So he like looked at the crowd, said, "Is there anybody that I missed that wanted to come get a picture or something?" And then there was like 1 or 2 people that came up to him, and he did that. And you know, he's one of those guys that's very gracious of, I mean, probably pretty much everything, I'm sure, but you can tell he's gracious over people that are giving him support and giving just the sport like that, actually love it. He can tell. But it's like whether you're a strong man or you just like to watch it, or you're there because somebody brought you and you just wanted to do something different, he gave everybody the same respect. He was like talking to people, chatting, joking around, taking pictures. You know, it wasn't one of those things where it's like there's a line of people and they're like, "Hey, let me get a picture. Okay, bye." You know.
I asked him what the secret to good hair was, because his hair is better than mine. And he said it's all in the Cerberus headband, so apparently I need to order a Cerberus headband.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna tell you a little. So, Evan, before he left, he said, "Hey guys, I gotta get going." Tanya says, "Hey, I had you picked first for the Giants live before you actually won it. You can't leave." He had this face like, and then he says, "Now you're making me feel bad." So we get a couple people up, and I actually stepped out of line because I'm always thinking of other people first. So I was like, he's there. I talked to him for a second. I got to see him compete. It's like if somebody really wants to meet him, I'll let them take my spot. But the girl behind me was like, no, you and her are one. So go. I'm like, okay, that's true. So we get close up there, and the lady behind us, she would have been number 6, I guess. So yeah. He was like starting to walk away, and she's like, please, like begging, like almost on her knees begging. Like she said, please, just one more. And then her husband was starting to walk over. So he already feels guilty at this point because Tanya. So then she says, "Oh, he's a veteran."
To Evan.
So Evan just he just starts laughing, and he points right at her and he goes, "That's dirty."
And he's like, "All right, get over here."
Like that's a guilt trip and a half right there. It's like now if he walks away, he like hates America.
I guilt tripped him. They guilt tripped him even more.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, you don't like veterans?" So he's like, "That's dirty." It was hilarious.
And okay, so some of you know, some of you don't. What made yesterday even better for me was my dad died 20 years ago. Yesterday was his birthday. Would have been his birthday. This was the first time in 20 years I actually did something fun and I did not cry. And when I went up to Brian...
You did a little bit.
Okay, I cried because I was happy that I was at the Shaw Classic and I got to see the athletes. It was happy tears. But when I got up to Brian to meet him, I told him that this was the best weekend I had ever had and that I had no voice for competing. And he actually went, come here, and initiated a hug with me. And I'm like, ah!
Yeah. Just a super kind man. Like I was telling her when we walked away, and I was like, all these guys are super cool, super funny, super nice. And I was like, there's something different about Brian. And the word is kindness. Like it's different than just being nice and friendly and stuff like that. It's both good. But it's almost like he does everything he has like no... At this point, he's like all about giving now. It's like he did things at the show, spent money on things that didn't have to, just to make it extra fun for us. Yep. You know, he could have literally just set up all the implements, had the bleachers there, you know, and just kept it super simple. But no, I mean, he made a special section for the VIP people, and you know, they really got treated even better than I thought. Like I didn't even realize that they were gonna have like front row with like nice chairs and like a table in front of them and stuff like that. I was like, so that's really cool that if you're gonna pay extra to see these guys, And I hear that they were hanging out with the guys for the
At
VIP
the meet and greet.
At the meet and greet. Like, they were hanging out for a while. Like, it wasn't just like a quick, come get pictures and stuff like that. I guess they were really kind of hanging out for a while, which is cool.
And I know our neighbors will never see this, but on the VIP table, they had Hershey Kisses that on the bottom had a sticker that said Shaw Classic 2021. Well, when we were at breakfast at our hotel yesterday, we saw a couple that was from Atlanta, Georgia. And so we were talking to them. They were going to the Shaw Classic. And I was coming back from the bathroom, and the lady's like, I was just looking for you. And I was confused. She said, thought you might want a souvenir. And they brought us over 2 of the Hershey Kisses so that we could take home, which I thought was pretty awesome that they'd only met us that one time in the morning at breakfast for half an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's the camaraderie that is amazing in this sport. Not even with just the athletes, but with the fans as well.
Yep. I know he actually had stickers on the Hershey Kisses that said Shaw Classic. Like little things like that, Little extra little details are pretty cool. But, so yeah, I mean, that's just... And he stayed there the entire time because it was a little while before we even got to him. And then we got to him, and then we went over to say hi to Kevin. We actually talked to Kevin for a couple minutes before he left. And then we're walking back up to leave. And there's still a decent line. And Brian was still there until every person. So just stuff like that, He doesn't get paid to do that. Like, he didn't even get paid to play second.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it for that. Like, he genuinely loves the sport, the people in it, the people that also love it. And that's just something I don't know, I never saw in anything else that I was into in the same way. And that's one thing I really like about the more, I guess, underground, more obscure sports. Not your typical team sports, and not that there's anything wrong with team sports, but you don't see the same camaraderie in that. You see a lot more money involved. You see a lot more contracts involved, a lot more business, politics. And with Strongman, there just isn't that, I mean, he didn't have to start that contest. He was doing fine during COVID. That's the thing. It's not like he was hurting too, so he's like, oh, this will help me too. He didn't take any of the money.
Yeah.
It's just like when he's successful and doing well, he's not one of those that just does his own thing and doesn't care about anybody else. Not that you have to help people, I'm not saying that you have to, but he does. He does that. It's like he has his website, he has the Elite Club. He's won World's Strongest Man 4 times, so it's like he has he's a businessman too, so he had things to kind of keep things going through COVID. And the other guys didn't. I mean, the other guys, there's not that many World's Strongest Man winners, and those are the guys that usually end up making more just because of the notoriety. So like they get more contracts, they get more money, more, I guess, contracts that are willing to give more money. They get more exposure.
Sponsorships is what I would say,
and
rather than contracts.
Sponsorships, and then if they start their own company, if you got your name on it, I mean, people are just going to buy it. It's just a fact, So all of his buddies, every single person that was competing there, hadn't won the World's Strongest Man yet, right?
Big Z did.
Yeah, Big Z, but Big Z pulled out. Big Z did pull out, but he's pretty much kind of done with competing, I think, and I think he wanted to do this for a different reason other than just trying to go all out and stuff like that, because he was not your typical Big Z going all out. He was just as strong, but he was definitely way more cautious than he had been in the past, which, I mean, he's 46 now, and what else does he have to prove?
But just to see the return of motherfucking Big Z.
And I think that's why he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it for Brian and for the fans.
Wow. Like, I saw him walking and just, I was in awe.
The way he walks is like a sight in and of itself, because
Yes.
he's so big. Because he is taller than I thought. Like, he doesn't seem like he's that tall for some reason until you actually see him in person. And when he was walking, there's people sitting on the VIP, which is like ground level. like his waist was above their head. Like you just saw like half of a person. And he walks so slow. Like he walks very slow. And he's got like just this good posture and everything like that. He's just very stoic. It's just like creature walking. That's like you're like he's real.
Yeah.
And he's just super, super duper.
Big Z is like Bigfoot. Like, does he actually exist?
Yeah. You know, he's considered by many to be
The
strongest
of all time.
Yeah, the greatest of all time because of how many wins he got, and people don't realize how many wins he got besides the 4 world's strongest man. What did he get? 8 Arnolds?
8 Arnolds. Lithuania's strongest man. He's won Super Series
numerous times. His list of contests that he's won is ridiculous. Not even counting the ones where he placed top 3 or 4.
And he still, to this day, holds the world record for the log lift.
Yeah. So just so you guys that maybe don't follow the sports closely can see the caliber of athletes that were here. You know, this wasn't, because I know some of my friends thought that I was going to like compete. I was like, I wish, it'd be fun. I would zero everything out, but it'd still be fun. I would get like Brandon Bramblett, 16th place, 0 points. But what's funny about this sport is everybody would cheer because they'd be like, he don't even belong with these guys. He's just out there because he's fucking crazy. I'd have to sign a waiver. But no, I wouldn't zero all of them out, but most of them.
If any of you get a chance to ever check out Maxime Boudreau, he looks like he is going to be so mean, so gruff, because just how he carries himself.
Yeah, he's a very rugged looking guy. He doesn't freak out really in competitions very often at all. Like he's not one of those guys that start screaming, you know, or start getting all super aggressive. But he is hilarious.
Yeah, like when we got our picture, he understood that I had no voice because of screaming. He said that makes me a super fan. But that did not stop him from mocking me and talking like me with no voice.
Yeah, it was funny. I know, and I told him, I was like, that is like the basis of her and I's relationship. That's how it all started. It was just me teasing the shit out of her. And I was like, you'd fit in well with our crowd. So, so we didn't do a ton of other stuff in Colorado. I mean, that wasn't the reason why we came here. It was just size up. But we definitely ate some good food at places that we do not have. We drove around a lot to see. I mean, if you guys can see where we're at right now. I mean, I'm in a trench. It's just super cool to see. We did drive up, try to look for the Twin Owls. We didn't have a whole lot of time, unfortunately, because it was before we had to get to the contest. But next time we're going to spend another couple of days. So we'll have a couple of days where it's just, we'll find somewhere to go hike. We'll get her on a horse because she's never done that before. Shit, might rent a bike. Ride a bike somewhere. Just do kind of like whatever. Just
Do the
stuff.
touristy thing.
Yeah, touristy things.
Plus the Shaw Classic.
I mean, I lived in New England for a long time. Well, when I was little. So I mean, it doesn't look the same, but there's there's a lot of similarities in like the stuff you can do. Because you know, we used to go hiking, and we'd go hiking in the mountains in the snow. I remember we did that. And that would actually be kind of fun out here, but I did not want to drive out here in the snow.
Oh, hell no.
But it's like it over there is cold, but not like it is in Iowa. It's not windy and like icy, just painful cold. It's a lot different. It's more like you can go do stuff outside. It's just, you know, you want to bundle up, but you know, you're not going to be in pain because it's so freaking cold out. So that's what we do, and like go hiking up the mountains and stuff. And I know one time we went off the trail like you're not supposed to, because there was no path, and the snow was up to my dad's knees. I was like on his back because I was like 6 years old. So stuff like that'd be fun. But anyway, so yeah, amazing weekend. Be coming back next year. We're gonna try to do VIP next year. Still won't be able to do video, I'm sure. You know, that's just gonna be the thing with this contest. But this contest is close enough where I would go every year, drive every year, because the drive is super easy.
Besides the million fucking curves.
And a quarter of it is super scenic. And then there's like half of it which is just like Nebraska straight roads, and so it's like super easy. Like, I don't care. You know, it's not stressful at all. So, but do you have anything to add? Go for it.
This was an amazing experience. I cannot wait to come back next year. Like he said, stay a couple more days so we can do more of the things. And if any of our friends get the chance to come and go, do it. You won't regret it. It has been one of the best experiences of my life. And I think I've told Brandon like 15 times thank you.
Yep.
I'll probably tell him more.
I got one more thing when you're done.
Okay, go.
So, if anybody was curious if Tanya actually likes this kind of stuff, or it's just like I got into it, so she's kind of getting into it in a way. You know, it happens in couples a lot. You know, someone gets into something, the other one will be supportive. She's supportive of me competing because she knows I can't just watch something that I think is super duper cool and obsess about and not get all the way involved. It's just how I am. You know, my dad knows the same thing. So she's supportive of me competing and stuff like that. But I'd say half the time when I rattle something off, like, oh yeah, he won it and whatever, like he won it this many times, she corrects me and I'm like, jeez. So yeah, she's very, very, very much into this too. You know, she's been doing some of it, but she almost cried when I gave her the tickets 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. And she almost cried when the athletes started coming out and waving their flags. Mm-hmm. And she almost cried again when they were at the podium when Constantine he couldn't even stand. He was hurting so bad. So, yeah, seeing this kind of stuff in person definitely is motivating, and I know it's motivated her. But I think that's it. So from here on out, you're just gonna see me, and not the world's strongest man in the world.
See pictures and
yeah.
So you guys will get to see pictures of them doing the events because I did take pictures.
Yeah.
That was allowed, so you'll get to see that. And I know you are probably not going to watch this, but Robert Oberst, since you always like my stuff on Instagram and message me back and comment on my stuff, you better be there next year. Because I cried when I found out you weren't going to be there. That's all.